Yeah, I'm just letting all of this sink in because this is incredibly powerful and it's new to me. I mean, we've done whole episodes on trusts. We have a trust, the way that we've structured things, but when does this work for the average person? Do they have to, is there a certain monetary limit? So if someone has, let's say, 5 single family homes, they're each worth for round numbers, they're each worth $100,000. They bought them for $50,000 20 years ago. They're going to sell them. How would this work? Give me, using that example, can you walk me through it with your trust?
Yeah, so there's 5 homes, each are worth $100,000, okay? And then they bought them for 50, 5 years ago. So they each have a $50,000 gain. And depending what state they're in and depending on how much depreciation recapture, let's just use 40%. So we'll do some quick math here. So you've got $100,000 times 5, so that's $500,000. And let's say that it was 250 was their gain. So at $250,000 gain, let's use 40%, you're looking at about $100,000 in liability. So what we always do, Clayton, is we say, well, what are you selling for? And the answer is $500,000. What is your actual liability? What's the check you're going to write? Not just your gain, your actual liability, right? State, federal, Obamacare, depreciation, recapture. And let's just say that happened to be 40%. In this scenario, it's $100,000 in liability. So we can say, Clayton, do you want $500,000 in your trust, minus some fees, there's some fees, or $400,000? So that particular scenario is right on the edge for the ROI that we found. We found for every $500,000 of gain or proceeds, there needs to be about $100,000 in liability that we're offsetting in order to make sense of the fees. And this is the rule of 72. If we can earn 7%, Clayton, on that extra $100,000 over a 10-year period of time and let it compound, it's going to double, right? And then at that point, you can pay your tax. So that's the rule. Most of our deals, the average size is about 2.6 million, and we're deferring somewhere around $400,000 to $500,000 in liability. So it does work, right? But also to that point, that individual who has 5 single-family homes, he likely doesn't have them all in the same exact location, right? Let's say he has 10 or 15, and they're all spread apart. His typical option would be to put them all together and to sell them to an investor, which generally speaking, they're going to pay about 20% less than a primary homeowner would. Okay, so what we like to say is don't do that. Still sell them to the primary homeowners. You get that 20% value, but slowly do that into the deferred sales trust. In other words, you don't have to sell it all in one deal and do a 1031 out of it, right? Just simply combine them into the trust one at a time as you see fit, as you find the buyer, as you negotiate each deal. So now hopefully you've had a 20%, maybe you're not selling for 100, maybe you're selling for 120 now. And now once they're all in the trust, again, 80% of that now can go purchase more real estate.
You have just listened to another information-packed episode of Capital Gains Tax Solutions with Brett Swarts. We hope you enjoyed today's show and found it helpful. Visit capitalgainstaxsolutions.com to access the show notes and to access more resources. Don't forget to leave a review and join us again next time.